there, Pam here with Pam's Paper Place, and I'm continuing on with my paper bag journal. It's a $15 Dollar Tree Challenge journal, spending $15, so I believe this is part 2. I did sew things in, and I'll show you what I've done so far, and I can also explain what I've done. I didn't do it all on camera, and I'm upstairs here because at the kitchen table, I just wanted to, sometimes you want to be around people like my husband, or, I didn't want to be in the basement in my craft room. Anyway, so let's get going. So this is what we have. I have some ruffles that I used with this little Dollar Tree tulle tutu. And let's open it up. And this was sewn shut. We have the doily. We have the backed tissue paper with another layer of the white. Let's move some things, oops, out of the way. And if you want to look and see what I bought with the $15, you can check out the other videos. Okay, here is, and I used a book from the Dollar Tree. That was called Cake. So cute. Use the pages. Still have some pages. Quite a few pages left. I'm going to utilize as many as I can. Here I just added a Dollar Tree butterfly. And I like the book because it had a lot of fun illustrations. Here's the coffee dyed paper. And then I ruffled up one of the layers. I think there was 3 or 4 different layers of fabrics. So I ruffled this up. And it smells good. It smells like coffee. And then I used the Dollar Tree stamps there. This is what I had. It's a lemon pound cake, and I wanted all the, the recipes to be complete. You wanted to use it. So I cut this out because this was step 4, and I've got 1, 2, 3, and then here's the rest. So I'm thinking of putting this on somehow. What I could do, I could cut it down here. And I don't have my cutter up here. I got this at a thrift store. I went thrifting with my granddaughter. She's 16 on Monday. Then I had my granddaughter Tuesday. I have her Tuesdays. She's almost 9. She's the one that does videos sometimes. But I wanted a ruler, a cutting ruler with a smaller kind of an edge. And I got this one. It's called Plaid. I don't know how much I paid for. So I was so excited. I got that, and I got some vintage books I'll have to show sometime. So what I could do, I don't want to wreck my table here. I think I'll put down a placemat. Or I had a magazine, I think, too. I'll just tear this here. Make it a little smaller. Yes, I love this. I don't know. It has a name, but yeah, it's awesome. And it just gives that little bit of a tear edge. So, how can I could put it here, and then, you know what, this could be a pocket. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I probably should tear across the top too. So I'm going to do that, and that'll be glued in. So then that will give a complete recipe, that lemon pound cake. And then what I did here was I added some butterflies on the side. I don't know if you can see it because I have a pale pink thread. I stitched through the middle and then stitched like a little trail and left the ends of the thread. You see that? So I did that on some edges. And you can see that's getting a little fluffy. And I used the Dollar Tree stamps. And I do have, you know, some recipes in here that they will have the continuation of it. This one does right here for that recipe. And then I have the back. It's kind of a glittery from the doily that I used Tattered Angels spray through. And I did, you know, I used the punch there. Here I made a little tuck with, I cut out one of the images in the book, backed it on. I can use file folders, or this was the back of packaging with the Dollar Tree, and this is a file folder. So that's a tuck. This is a tuck, and this was one of the napkins that I used in the Dollar Tree. So I just put that down and then I stitched around it. So that's a nice addition there. And then I'll put a little, you know, tag or something in here. And then I just ruffled up some of the napkin and added some gems that I got at the Dollar Tree. And look at this, fits just perfect here, this doily. There's, I backed this with the tissue paper, wrapping paper. Not wrapping paper, but it's like the tissue paper. And I backed it on both sides. Isn't this pretty? It's part of the book. Oops. Help if I had it in view. Scalped. And there's more of that recipe in here somewhere. I ruffled this here. And then I had a paper pack from the Dollar Tree with different papers, and here's one of them, one of the papers. And I cut out this really cute image, and then she made a cake, tore that out, inked it a little bit. And then, so that tucks here. I can even kind of tuck behind that. And then this was part of the paper that I folded or put in half. And then I took a couple cut-offs and layered them here and added the cake. So this is what I've got done so far. And that's chocolate layer cake. And then here I added a little, like a belly band. I cut this out, but I backed it on part of the book. I'll show you. Like the book cover. It's got a really thick, kind of a plasticky feel to it. So I backed this page, cut it out, and put it on there for a belly band. And then I added some of the papers from the little Dollar Tree paper pack. And I'm probably going to ink this, but I just ruffled the papers up. And so that can go in here. And if this gets bent, you can always cut those little candles off. I may do it too, I'm not sure. Okay. And then more of that tissue. Here's the cover of the book, the dust cover, whatever you call it. And then I may add this here, you know, as a pocket. It's the perfect size for a side pocket tuck. It's really kind of a pretty paper. And then here I took the paper, I fussy cut the napkin. I can use my punches. I did that little punch there. I inked it with this Ranger ink pad pink gumball. It's like a translucent. I inked that just for, you know, writing behind there and to add interest to the page. Carrot cake. And then here's a little flip because it fit there without, you know, without hiding the recipe. And then I may add that as part of the paper pack. It's kind of cool. And here's a little butterfly. I may embellish this more. There's that. Oh, and what I did with this, I added this page. I tore this from the book. I folded the edge here. And then just added it. You know what I mean? Added it here, and then I cut it on this side. So it would still turn. So that's a completed recipe there. There's that fun artwork from that book. And I love this, and especially because it pops right out. Look at, isn't that fun? So that's from the Dollar Tree. I'll have to go back and see if they have more. Or next time, if I make a journal, or even if I can, I don't know if I can find 5 of everything, but if I could do kits like that from the Dollar Tree and sell them, or, you know, I'll see. Anyway, so this is on the back of the paper here. And you can just see a little bit of it coming through this side, which is really cool. And then I use stamps from the Dollar Tree stamp set. Part of the book. I had to, you know, piece these together. And then here I stitched this ruffle here. And then I added a little bit of this. I had little bits of this. Added that brighter pink here while I was stitching. Oh, and then here, what I did, here's the back of the book cover. And I'll put something over here, of course. And it says, "A day without dancing is a wasted day." I just stitched around here, made a pocket on the back of this. And then I made a tag from, this is from the book. I stitched around it. And then I added this real pretty bow from the tulle. And then it said Anna Pavlova, but, or however you say her name. But it was like, I had to cut it off, you know, for it to fit here. So I used these Dollar Tree bits to cover that because her name was cut off. But isn't that cute? Isn't that pretty? So it goes to show you don't need to spend a lot of money to buy stuff, although I have a lot of stuff. And it's almost overwhelming. So this was a nice simple project. I had this little basket, so everything that I needed fit in this basket, so I could bring it upstairs and use it, you know, here. So that's not so overwhelming because you know what you're going to use. And then, you know, I brought up just a couple punches and things to use. So there's that. And then here's some of the tissue paper that's been backed with they had white in it too, so I backed it with the white. So recipe. And then here I took, and I considered paper clips a ordinary tool that you would use, so that wasn't part of the $15. I love this. They had a lot of hand painted illustrations in that cake book. So I wanted it to fit on the side here, like that. So I just folded an edge. It says the cake that Tally makes. I don't know if that was grandma or aunt. That's Tally. And then in the story, she was a young girl and she had a her boyfriend or something moved away or some heartache or whatever. So her friend was offering her some cake, you know. And then I took the paper, that was one of my items, the Dollar Tree, and I tore the edges with that really cool edge tearer, and I sewed around, whoops, and then I put that on there. I like that idea. Added that. And then here I did some more of that sewing. I don't know if you can see it because of the thread is so pale. Right there with the butterfly. And more of the tissue. I just love this. I don't know why. I just love this journal. It's simple, but I'm really liking it. And then here I added a butterfly. I just glued these edges here so it'd be a tuck. And then I used the napkin and one of the butterflies I stitched around. It's on a file folder, so that can go in there. And then, oh, this is paper from the paper pad, and I just tore it, and then I'll add, you know, a ribbon or something there, because I got there were some ribbons holding this, you know, on the back. I might use that there. Oh, I love this. Well, this can be a tuck here, you know, with this butterfly. Just this part here. Or you can kind of lift the wings up too. I guess you could for more dimension, but no, better not. Anyway, I had a piece of paper, excuse me, from the Dollar Tree pack, and I used this big circle punch, and I made something with that circle. And then later I'm like, oh, I have this piece of paper, and I had packaging, so I the packaging was doubled. I'm sorry. And maybe I'll show how I do this if you don't understand what I'm saying. But the packaging was doubled, like you'd slip, an item in. So I kept it doubled. Okay, that's gonna be hard to explain. I'll have to show sometime. But anyway, this opens up, and I have this tag in here. I mean, I guess it's not hard to explain. This is just the packaging. I sewed around, and I sewed here, but I kept this open. That's just what I'm saying. I'm sure you know what I mean. Sewed around here, sewed, 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 and I glued this plastic all to the back of this. And then there's still plastic here. There's one layer of plastic there. And then I inked around, I kind of tore, randomly. And then that cake illustration goes in there. And we have a little ruffle edge here. Oops. Ruffle here, and then I just added some more of the other pink there. Another cake page. The cakes of people I do not know. That's cute. It says all over the world, all the time, people are eating cake. They always have and they always will. A group of children have stopped playing to have cake. A man taking a nap on a comfortable sofa will wake up to a lovely cake. Together or alone, celebrating or sitting quietly and thinking, someone is savoring a moment of cake. And this I attached here. I just folded the edge, then I glued it down here, and then I added some of the tissue, the paper bag tissue, tissue you put in a bag. So I added that there. And then I did some more of that sewing there with a butterfly. And I had to sew this together to make it fit. And I like that there's sewing and a little texture there. Let's see. And then here, this was a file folder, and I put the tissue on it. I added the gems here. And then this opens up and you can write. And I don't know if I want to cover that or not. I don't know. Or if I want to add more paper sheets. I'm not sure. And then here's some more ruffling to the edge. And then here's where I use that circle punch. And I just stitched around it, backed it with something heavier, added some ruffle. And now this is a little circle tuck to zigzag around. And then this is a part of the paper, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I did ruffle some things. Maybe I'll add something like that. Sometimes, I won't sew directly on the paper. I'll ruffle it first. And when I'm upstairs, my sewing machine is downstairs, but I'll ruffle up some things. And then you can glue them too. You don't have to stitch directly. So, it's kind of pretty. So we'll see. And then this is the end. I pieced this together, then I just added, it was a kind of a bigger white space here, so I added some of that tissue. And here's some double back tissue here. And then I tore this from the book. It says, what have I learned? It is not a party without cake. It is not a holiday without cake. It is not an auspicious occasion without cake. Things are much nicer with cake. Bring on the cake. We really want to live. Isn't that adorable? And then I just used the pink to accentuate the pink ink to accentuate the cake. And then there's that. And then over this, I just added one of these. And then you still have this yet. And then I got to figure out this, if that would be... But anyway, that's what I've got so far. And then I will add these here. And if you don't know how to do a pamphlet stitch, you know how I sewed in the pages, there's a lot of, I think I have a YouTube on that, or you could, you know, just Google 3-hole pamphlet, P-A-M-P-H-L-E-T stitch, and that will show you how. But I'm really enjoying this. It's just fun to hold and just really fun. So that's what I got. And then I'll probably do one more one more video of this, and then I will be done. And I hope you enjoyed watching or crafting along. I appreciate you all. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate comments and likes. That just shows me that people are watching, and I appreciate that. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.